I got up not wanting to hear anymore. I had to hurry or else I'd miss my conveyor. Throughout the ride, all I could think about was how much danger we all were in. How could they have been reclaimed? In some bizarre alternate reality, could some of our Anthoran ancestors have landed on their homeworld and integrated with them? You, welcome back, besties. I'm so glad you've stuck with me. Please continue to tune in as I bring you more wonderful stories. Super thanks to my new subscribers. I truly appreciate you. Now let's get back to the story. I tried to catch Master Tool's attention, but he was busy. I waited until the session was over to speak with him. I hung back until the training room emptied. Master Tool, can you make sure everyone gathers later? I have some very disturbing news, I told him. I don't know. Lao and Elder Chaktar are the only ones training you. I shook my head. I have horrible news. Please arrange it so that everyone is here later. I've got to go, but please try. It's important. I hurried to my next class, hoping everyone will come. Knowing that later, I would be able to let everyone know about Aisha and Jahael, I was able to relax and focus on my training. Flight simulation took on a whole new perspective for me as I destroyed Frogan ships. The other trainees glared at me, but I didn't care. Finally, I was able to return to meet with the others. Master Tool was able to contact everyone. He met me and led me to the secret expel room. I expelled my excess energies into the wall and went to sit with the others. This room was different from the one in the dorm building. Mechanized walls moved to reveal the energy-absorbing ones underneath. Well, we are all here. What news do you have? Master Tool asked. He didn't look pleased. I looked around the room at our little circle and told them what happened after I had gone back to my room. And what's more, I believe Jahael is one too. He said that he placed a listening device in my uniform. Are you sure you saw the skin hanging? Master Physician Bolka asked with a whine. Yes, if you recall, it was early morning when we met. The sun was just coming up and it was light enough in her room for me to see. The Frogan was lying under the covers and the Aisha skin was hanging on the wall. I saw her clearly. How can we make sure? Lao asked. It is sad, but as a warrior elder, it had fallen to me to keep our people safe. Our scientists had devised the cloaking device that keeps our planet from being detected by the probes the Frogans send into our atmosphere from time to time. We've recently devised a way to make sure that our people are truly Anthorans. Aisha, Shimon, and Jahael are considered new. The device hadn't been operational until very recently. It can detect DNA presently on Anthora 2. If they are wearing actual skin from actual Anthorans, would it still detect alien DNA? Asked Belle. She had been silent the whole time, but I could see that she was frightened. Yes, it will. All sentient beings sweat, and it will come through the skin. To us, it will come over as defective, not completely Anthoran. The library is the only area that has been refurbished, but it hasn't come online yet. The refurbished project was only approved by the building committees just before you were reclaimed, Fiona. Once it comes online, it will be able to determine who is Anthoran and who isn't, Elder Chaktar said. It is set only to send an alarm to the Air Corps and Warrior Commands. What does Elder Sim say about it? I asked. She has not been fully informed. All she's been told was that the library needed attention as past tremors had caused structural damage. Elder Bitka suspects her too. You mentioned that you were able to hear their conversation while a distance away. That is great news. Your powers are growing. Apart from Layak, our ancestors used to have the ability to hear thoughts, said Lao. I closed my eyes trying to remember the event. I opened my eyes quickly. You're right. It was more in my head than hearing with my ears. How come I can't hear your thoughts? I asked, looking around. You must have a close relationship with those around you for that ability to manifest, Boehm said. Everyone turned to watch as he entered the room fully. He walked over to the wall to expel, and once he was done, he sat down with everybody. Once you establish a relationship with others, you can start to hear their thoughts. It doesn't work with us. Somehow, we are shielded from each other, he explained. Hello, Bohem. I suppose you've heard, I said to him. Yes, by way of Elder Chaktar. It is very fortunate for us to have a Brightblade Layak wielder, he answered. I shook my head. No, I meant that I've discovered that Aisha and Jahael are Frogans. I saw Aisha's skin hanging on the wall in her room. Bohem's eyebrows shot up. Oh my, that is bad news. How does the device detect Frogans? I asked Chaktar. He hadn't quite answered the question when Bell posed it. I wanted to know too. The library attracts a lot of our people. We have sensors on the doors, communicators, and even on the elevators that lead to the library. You must understand that this is a pilot project. If proven useful, then all of the public buildings will be outfitted, he answered. What will the Air Corps and Warrior Commands do once they detect a signal? Master Physician Bolka asked. These two are fairly well known in our community. To have them disappear abruptly will raise suspicion and alert any other Frogans in our midst. We must have an explanation in place after we do away with them. After the meeting, the others left, leaving Lau, Elder Chaktar, and me. Fiona, in light of recent developments, I think we should cancel your training for today. I would like for you to continue to listen more carefully around those two. It is to our advantage that your ability to hear thoughts has emerged. It gives us an edge, said Lau. I caught the last conveyor back to the dorm. I showered and changed into some sweats and went to dinner. Aisha and Jahael weren't at our table, and I was relieved. The others told me that they had seen them leaving the dorm earlier. It was a good thing and bad thing. They could be planning all manner of things, and I wasn't close enough to hear anything. Fiona, I heard you mention that you needed to do laundry the other day. Were you able to do it? Gork asked suddenly. I shook my head. No, not yet. I saw a laundromat in the shopping center. I'd planned to go there, but haven't gotten a chance to go. You don't have to go to the shopping center. We have laundry capabilities here in the building. If you want, I can show you. I have to do laundry myself, he said. I nodded at him. Great. Apart from my uniform, I'm down to almost nothing clean to wear. Can we go after dinner? Yes, I'll come get you later. Oh, can I join you guys? I have laundry to do too. I hate going down there alone, Ming said. Great. The more the merrier, I said and got up to dump my tray. I waved to the others and followed Ming and Gork out. I told Gork to give me 15 minutes to gather my clothes and went into my room. I left the door ajar and went about sorting my clothes. Minutes later, while I was struggling with 2 pillowcases of dirty clothes, Aisha knocked and came into the room. What are you doing? She asked. I turned to her abruptly. I am going to do my laundry. What does it look like? I asked, annoyed. She keeps popping up unannounced, like she's trying to catch me unawares or something. You know that you can arrange for it to be done for you, right? I dropped the pillowcase I was struggling with to stare at her. No, I didn't. I'm down to my last and you're telling me this now? Aisha shrugged. Sorry, I wasn't thinking. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap at you. How was your evening out with Jahael? I see you took our advice. Aisha's whole face lit up. We had dinner and we went to a club we talked about trying. We had a wonderful time. Oh, Fiona, I think he really likes me. That's great. Have you taken things to the next level yet? I asked, raising my eyebrows playfully while cringing on the inside. Aisha stopped smiling. He wants to, but I want to wait. What with all the rumors of the planet being probed and such? I'm afraid. Anthorans don't use birth control. Our people are so few that the government encourages us to have families. Ah, I see. Smart thinking, I said. It was more like Frogan's gestational period is shorter than ours. You'd be giving birth in less than 6 months, I thought privately. The library has such useful information. Anyway, we've sorted it out, and he thinks I've got good sense. Please don't say anything to him. He doesn't understand human women telling each other stuff. She turned to leave. I'm your friend, not your mother. What you do is your business. Aisha bumped into Ming leaving my room. They said a few words and Ming joined me. Is Aisha all right? She asked. Yeah, she's fine. Are you ready? She nodded. Yes, my stuff is down the hall. We just have to wait for Gork. Aisha was telling me that there is a service that does our laundry. How does that work? I know about it, but I don't like other people touching my clothes. My training on Avenge 3 was strict. As soldiers, it was drilled into us. We did our own washing, cleaning, and cooking. It was a form of protection from our enemies. I threw my arm around her shoulders. I wasn't a warrior on Earth, but my parents insisted that I be independent. My mother taught me how to cook, clean, and do laundry. My father taught me about common sense and how to be safe away from home. Are you ready? Asked Gork, standing in the doorway. He grabbed one of my bags and I dragged the other. Ming and I followed him to the lower level of the dorm. The laundry room was nothing I was expecting. It was huge with several large basins. Ming showed me how to use it. I used 2 of the basins. one for whites and the other for colors. I watched as the basin filled with a bright yellow fluid. Then the basin began to agitate and foam up. After it rinsed the clothes, Ming showed me how to dry them in a big hollow, drum-like container with a lid. While the clothes dried, I watched Ming and Gork interact with each other. I decided that I was going to let them know that I was on to them. You really didn't have to use me as an excuse to be together. I can see that you like each other, I told them with a smile. Ming blushed crimson. Oh no, you don't understand. We aren't lovers. Gork is my brother. On Aveng 3, siblings weren't allowed to enlist together or be in the same regiment. Here on ANTHORA 2, we find that we must continue the charade. It's driving me crazy. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Do the elders know? They don't, but the one who reclaimed us does. He suggested that we keep it to ourselves a little longer, Gork said. So why are you telling me? That's because of this. Both Gork and Ming held up their hands to show me weak streams of light from their fingers. I smiled and showed them my light. Who reclaimed you? Bohum reclaimed us. He also told us that we shouldn't trust anyone. But the other night when you had your episode, we knew you were an ally, Gork said. Didn't they wipe your memories? Something didn't ring true. Master Physician Bolka intervened. He knows about us and only put us to sleep. I was in Ming's room when we heard you screaming. When we saw what was happening, I tried to help you, but you were out of your mind with fright. I did the only thing I could. I knocked you out. I didn't want anyone else to see what was really happening. That's why I had a headache. I suppose I should thank you. Does Elder Chaktar know about you? Ming shook her head. We didn't know who to trust. We only expel with Boham. This morning he told us about Aisha and Jahael. Gork is to watch him at the Air Corps facilities, and I should pair up with you to watch Aisha. I could use the help, but be careful because they are looking for suspicious behavior. They don't know that I'm on to them, so if you're going to help watch them, you need to be smart about it. We left with our clothes smelling clean and fresh. Ever since I overheard Aisha and Jahael talking about listening devices, I started checking my room for anything that didn't belong. I had left my room in disarray for a reason. I could tell that someone was in my room while I was doing laundry. I found a strange stone in the corner of my room. I ignored it and finished straightening up. I tried not to look at it in case it was able to capture images. Now I understood that while I was spying on them, they were spying on me. The following morning, I greeted everyone cheerfully and ate my breakfast. Aisha kept stealing glances at me, and I pretended that I didn't notice. For operatives of the opposition, she was a poor excuse of a spy. Jahael had me completely fooled, and I suspect that Elder Sim placed him in my way to keep her informed. 2 weeks later, I received a message from the elders. They requested that I come to chambers immediately. Still in my uniform, I made my way to their chambers, and they were all seated up high again, signaling that the meeting was formal. I approached like I'd done before and waited for them to speak. Warrior Brightblade, Master Toll has informed us that in a week's time you will be taking up your post. He also suggested that you are ready to travel to Earth. It is our ruling that Warrior Captain Lau accompany you. Your objective is to make sure that your brother isn't being hunted. If he is, you must neutralize the threat, and once that is done, you are to return home. Do you understand? Asked Elder Green. Yes, sir, I understand, I answered. Warrior Brightblade, congratulations and good luck. You will be contacted about your new quarters soon, Elder Sim added. I scanned her features and found it tranquil. I returned to my room quickly. Once there, I jumped up and down squealing. I was so happy. I couldn't wait to see my brother and family again. I've been on ANTHORA 2 for a month and a half, but by Earth's time, I've been dead for roughly a year and a half. My family has probably gotten used to not having me around, I thought sadly. But that was okay. Very soon, I'll be able to make sure that Gary Jr. was safe. I needed to let Ming and Gork know that I would be gone for a while. They'll have to watch Aisha and Jahael alone. I ate with everyone, and we chatted about work and teased Aisha and Jahael. We kept everything on an even keel. Just before we called it a night, my chronograph chirped. Elder Bitka messaged me about my new quarters. Hey guys, I've got my new quarters. I'll be moving in a few days, I told them. You'll still be able to have meals with us, right? Asked Ming. Of course. Master Tool assured me that after my duties are done, my time is mine to do whatever I please. You're also graduating if that's the case. I say we party. Go out and paint the town red, Aisha insisted. The others looked confused. Painting the town red means having a good time on Earth, I clarified for them. Oh, well then, we must go and paint the town red, Lila said. She had been so quiet that I almost forgot about her. Out of all of them, she'd been a mystery to me. I realized that I didn't know much about her. She and Gork work in communications, and that's all. We probably will see each other more than you think, Lila. You are working in communications and I'm at Space Corps. We're bound to run into each other, I said. That's right. I look forward to seeing you then. Graduation was a few days later, and it wasn't the elaborate affair it was on Earth. The graduates were gathered in the assembly hall of Sector 4, and each trainee was called to the front where Elder Chaktar stood at attention. He saluted each of us and removed our chronographs and replaced it with another, and then pinned our ranks and badges on our uniforms. When my turn came, he even smiled a bit. At the small reception, he told me that my chronograph was a little different from the others he'd handed out. Mine had an extra feature. Mine would alert me to alien DNA. He said that because of my Liak abilities, it was important that I know who I dealt with. After classes, I went home to find everyone waiting for me. They informed me that we were going out to celebrate. How could I say no to that? They waited while I showered and changed. I wore my white mood dress and shoes that I'd recently bought. I noticed that Gork walked with Lila instead of me and his sister. I could tell that he liked her. I pointed at them and raised an eyebrow at her. He'd been trying to find a way to express his feelings for her. Tonight he told her that he liked her, she said. That's great. What about you? Who's your crush? I asked. I don't feel the need to pair off with anyone yet. This new existence is different from what I knew back on Aveng 3. I want to settle into it first. I know exactly what you mean. I can't think of anything else right now. All I can focus on are my warrior duties and protecting my brother. He's still so young and helpless. Gork doesn't feel the way I do. I warned him not to trust her with our secret because we still don't know who else may be Frogans in disguise, reasoned Ming. Master Physician Bolka said that he was going to do some research. Perhaps it's our skin and not our blood that contains all that is needed to identify us as Anthoran. Why else would they clothe themselves with it? I asked. That makes sense, she agreed. The other night, I found a strange-looking stone in my room. Jahael said that he placed a listening device in my uniform, but I haven't found it. You and Gork should check your room for the stone and be careful around it. Ming's eyes grew wide. I must tell him tonight. We talk about everything when he comes over. Be careful and search thoroughly, I warned her. The rest of the evening was spent eating, laughing, and then we went to a club. This is the most fun I've had since coming to ANTHORA 2. Weren't for the fact that Aisha and Jahael were the enemy, the fun would have been even better. The club we went to served a beverage that was close to beer on Earth. Aisha and Jahael drank it exclusively. I tried it and spat it out. It was bitter and made my stomach churn, but they were enjoying it. How can you drink this stuff? I asked. I tried it again, and the taste was worse the second time. It is an acquired taste. I was pleased that Aisha likes it too, Jahael said. We are finding that we have a lot in common. Jahael wore a sloppy grin on his face. Just because they liked it, I pushed mine away. I went back to the bar to order something else. I asked the bartender about the Baza beer, and he told me that it was made from the Baza flower. He said that it used to grow wild on Anthora and almost became extinct because the Frogans used it as a drug. Anthorans used the Baza flower to soothe rashes, while the Frogans got high off it. They crushed it into a paste and ingested it. He said that they can't resist it. I ordered a bottle of Siklag wine and went back to our table. I whispered to Ming about the beer and told her to stop drinking it. She told her brother and Druktar. We watched Aisha, Jahael, and Lila get plastered. I stood up and raised my glass. I'd like to make a toast. It is something we do on Earth. I want to thank all of you for celebrating with me and bringing me here to have a good time. I hope that this is just one of the many times that we do this. I chugged my wine and let out a whoop. The others followed suit, and then we called it a night. As we walked back, I noticed that Aisha, Jahael, and Lila hung back. Druktar walked with Ming, Gorke, and me. We all watched the three of them act strangely. Gork was upset because he really liked Lila. When we neared the dorms, Gork insisted on walking Ming back to her room. Druktar said that he would walk me to mine. The bartender told me the history of the Biza flower. He said that the Frogans used it as a drug. Those three are definitely high off of it, I told him. Gork said goodnight at Ming's door and Druktar nodded to me at mine. Good night, I said, and let myself into my room. My eyes strayed to the corner. It was still there. I showered and got in bed. My first real day of work wouldn't start for another day or two, and I needed to get ready for moving day. So much has happened since I died on Earth, and I knew that more serious stuff was coming. To find that I was surrounded by the very enemy that killed me made my warrior blood boil. My murder was still fresh in my mind, and it made me want to make things happen faster. Are you clenching right now? Fiona is surrounded by aliens, and she must hide the fact that she knows. Comment what you do right now. Would you let out a stream of Liak to end them, or would you wait to watch out for more of them? Let's get back to the story. Master Toll and Elder Chaktar insisted that we wait to gather more intel before we took any action. It was certainly a stroke of luck that we went to that club. Otherwise, I wouldn't have discovered that Lila was a Frogan as well. I must remember to ask that they investigate the club too. Why would they serve bizarre beer? I fell asleep with a mind full of strategies for rooting out the enemy in our midst. Sometime during the wee hours, I awoke. I quickly scanned my room and found everything just like it was before I went to sleep. I felt anxious and couldn't go back to sleep. I realized that I was hearing voices outside my door. I got out of bed quietly and went to stand at the door. I could hear Aisha and Lila talking. Lila, we are counting on you. You're in position and you've gained their trust. Jahael is still too new, but you've been there long enough. No one will suspect you. You have access to the codes, Aisha said. It was apparent to me that I wasn't hearing them with my ears but with my mind, just like in the cafeteria. It is not as simple as you think, sister. I may have access to the codes, but they cannot be activated by one person. It is done sequentially by an elder, a warrior, and a communications technician, she replied. We know that already. Just get the codes and we'll take it from there. Thank you for walking me back, but you must hurry to your room before someone sees you. Good night. I'm glad you found that club. How is that these filthy Anthorans know to make bizarre beer? Our people used to force them to make it when we occupied Anthora. I don't think they knew what it was to us, but I'm glad to know that it's there for us. Hurry, sister. Go back to your room. Good night, sister. I almost laughed. These had to be the worst spies ever. I heard everything they said and what they were planning. And could they really be sisters? Well, that's it for now. Please comment what you think of the story. I really would love to hear from you. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button so you won't miss what's coming next. Stay tuned for the next episode.